Welcome to Story Quest. Today, I will be reading Little Woman, Chapter 18, Part 2. Laurie spoke very fast and turned red and excited all in a minute, for he had just kept his plot a secret for fear of disappointing the girls or harming Beth. Jo grew quite white, flew out of her chair, and the moment she stopped speaking, she electrified him by throwing her arms around his neck and crying out with a joyful cry, "Oh, Laurie! Oh, Mother! I'm so glad!" She did not weep again, but laughed hysterically and trembled and clung to her friend as if she was a little bewildered by the sudden news. Laurie, though decidedly amazed, behaved with great presence of mind. He patted her back soothingly, and finding that she was recovering, followed it up by a bashful kiss or two, which brought Jo round at once. Holding on to the banisters, she put him gently away, saying breathlessly, "Oh, don't! I didn't mean to. It was dreadful of me, but you were such a dear to go and do it in spite of Hannah that I could not help flying at you. Tell me all about it, and don't give me wine again. It makes me act so." "I don't mind," laughed Laurie, as he settled his tie. "Why, you see, I got fidgety, and so did Grandpa. We thought Hannah was overdoing the authority business. And your mother ought to know. She'd never forgive us if anything happened, you know. So I got Grandpa to say it was high time we did something, and off I pelted to the office yesterday, where the doctor looked sober and Hannah most took my head off when I proposed the telegram. I never can bear to be lorded over, so that settled my mind, and I did it. Your mother will come, I know, and the late train is in at 2 a.m. I shall go for her, and you've only got to bottle up your rapture and keep Beth quiet till that blessed lady gets here." "Laurie, you're an angel. How shall I ever thank you?" "Fly at me again. I rather liked it," said Laurie, looking mischievous, a thing he had not done for a fortnight. "No, thank you. I'll do it by proxy when your grandpa comes." "Don't tease, but go home and rest, for you'll be up half the night. Bless you, Teddy, bless you." Jo had backed into a corner, and as she finished her speech, she vanished into the kitchen, where she sat down upon a dresser and told the assembled cats that she was happy, oh so happy, while Laurie departed, feeling that he made a rather neat thing of it. "That's the interferingest chap I ever see, but I forgive him and do hope Mrs. March is coming right away," said Hannah with an air of relief when Jo told the good news. Meg had a quiet rapture and then brooded over the letter, while Jo sat in the sick room in order, and Hannah knocked up a couple of pies in case of company unexpected. A breath of fresh air seemed to blow through the house, and something better than sunshine brightened the quiet rooms. Everything appeared to feel the hopeful change. Beth's birds began to chirp again, and a half-blown rose was discovered on Amy's bush in the window. The fire seemed to burn with unusual cheeriness, and every time the girls met, their pale faces broke into smiles as they hugged one another, whispering encouragingly, "Mother's coming, dear, Mother's coming." Everyone rejoiced but Beth. She lay in that heavy stupor, alike unconscious of hope and joy, doubt and danger. It was a piteous sight, that once rosy face so changed and vacant, the once busy hands so weak and wasted, the once violent lips quite dumb, and that once pretty, well-kept hair scattered, rough and tangled on the pillow. All day she lay, so only rousing now and then to mutter, "Water," with lips so parched they hardly shaped the word. All day Jo and Meg hovered over her, watching, waiting, hoping, and trusting in God and Mother. And all day the snow fell, the bitter wind raged, and the hours dragged slowly by. But night came at last, and every time the clock struck, the sisters, still sitting on either side of the bed, looked at each other with bright eyes, for each hour brought help nearer. The doctor had been in to say that some change, for better or worse, would probably take place about midnight, at which time he would return. Hannah, quite worn out, lay down on the sofa at the bed's foot and fell fast asleep. Mr. Lawrence marched to and fro in the parlor, feeling that he would rather face a rebel battery than Mrs. March's countenance as she entered. Laurie lay on the rug, pretending to rest, but staring into the fire with a thoughtful look which made his eyes beautifully soft and clear. The girls never forgot that night, for no sleep came to them, as they kept their watch with the dreadful sense of powerlessness which comes to us in hours like those. "If God spares Beth, I will never complain again," whispered Meg earnestly. "If God spares Beth, I'll try to love and serve him all my life," answered Joe with equal fervor. "I wish I had no heart. It aches so," sighed Meg after a pause. "If life is often as hard as this, I don't see how we ever shall get through it," added her sister despondently. Here the clock struck 12, and both forgot themselves in watching Beth, for they fancied a change passed over her wan face. The house was still as death, and nothing but the wailing of the wind broke the deep hush. Weary Hannah slept on, and no one but the sisters saw the pale shadow which seemed to fall upon the little bed. An hour went by, and nothing happened except Laurie's quiet departure for the station. Another hour, still no one came, and anxious fears of delay in the storm, or accidents by the way, or worst of all, a great grief at Washington haunted the girls. It was past 2 when Joe stood at the window thinking how dreary the world looked in this winding sheet of snow, heard a movement by the bed, and turning quickly, saw Meg kneeling before her mother's easy-chair, with her face hidden. A dreadful fear passed coldly over Joe as she thought, "Beth is dead, and Meg is afraid to tell me." She was back at her post in an instant, and to her excited eyes a great change seemed to have taken place. The fever flush and the pain were gone, and the beloved little face looked so pale and peaceful in its utter repose that Joe felt no despair to weep or to lament. Leaning low over her dearest sisters, she kissed the damp forehead and her heart on her lips. It softly whispered, "Goodbye, my Beth, goodbye." As if awaked by the stir, Hannah started out of her sleep, hurried to the bed, looked at Beth, felt her hands, listened at her lips, and then, throwing her apron over her head, sat down to rock to and fro, exclaiming under her breath, "The fever's turned, she's sleeping natural, her skin's damp and her breath's easy. Praise be given, oh my goodness me." Before the girls could believe the happy truth, the doctor came to confirm it. He was a homely man, but they thought his face quite heavenly when he smiled and said with a fatherly look at them, "Yes, my dears, I think the little girl will pull through this time. Keep the house quiet, let her sleep, and when she wakes, give her." When they were to give, neither heard or both crept into the dark hall, and sitting on the stairs, held each other close, rejoicing with hearts too full of words. When they looked back to be kissed and cuddled by faithful Hannah, they found Beth lying, as she used to do, with her cheeks pillowed on her hand, the dreadful pallor gone, and breathing quietly, as if just fallen asleep. "If Mother would only come now," said Joe, as the winter night began to wane. "See," said Meg, coming up with a white half-open rose. I thought this would hardly be ready to lie in Beth's hand tomorrow if she went away from us. But it has blossomed in the night, and now I mean to put it in my vase here, so that when the darling wakes, the first thing she sees will be the little rose in Mother's face. Never had the sun risen so beautifully, and never had the world seemed so lovely as it did to the heavy eyes of Meg and Joe as they looked out in the early morning when their long, sad vigil was gone. "It looks like a fairy world," said Meg, smiling to herself as she stood behind the curtain watching the dazzling sight. "Hark!" cried Joe, starting to her feet. Yes, there was a sound of bells at the door below, a cry from Hannah, and then Lori's voice sang in a joyful whisper, "Girls, she's come! She's come!" Thank you for watching. If you have enjoyed this video, please like, share, and comment down below. And if you have not done so already, please subscribe and hit that bell notification for future videos. And when you get a chance, please check out my second channel and podcast called Viva Quest, which is streamed on the platforms listed in the description below. Thank you.